brave young girl who was manhandled at the Crowthorne Academy for having her natural dreadlocks, for being yourself. How do you feel for somebody to tell you to be something else that you are not?
Disappointed.
Very disappointing, because we are in an era where we should not have racial intolerance. We should not have ethnic intolerance. We should not have people that judge you because of how you choose to do your hair. I was just telling your mother that I've got a 14-year-old son whose dreadlocks are even longer than yours. I don't know what they would have done if they saw him coming to school with those dreadlocks. How long have you been growing them? For 3 years.
Yes.
And we know how much time it takes, and you know you must look after them, and they're beautiful. But was it the first time that they told you to cut them?
Yes.
What triggered it on that day? What happened?
I think, actually I'm not sure, because I was not the one that was speaking about my dreadlocks.
No, she sent me a message. So she, Talent had locks before, but I chose to cut them because of the sport that she chose to do. But when she started in that school, she had locks, and then she wanted to do ballet and contemporary dance. And then when they're doing exams, obviously there's a certain way that they have to put their hair, tie their hair. So it was by choice to remove the dread. I removed the dread and I kept them. And at that time we had no problem with the extension. So she used to do braids, but she had always had natural hair. So she used to do braids and other hairpiece. And then this year, April, we received a text from the group saying that the school conducts have been changed. There's no hair extensions allowed. And we comply. I decided to remove the extension, and she went to school with her natural hair. That was for the second term, the whole second term, yes. And when the school had closed, I then decided, let me put her back her locks, because her hair is actually getting damaged. I put the locks back. I then sent a message to Tanya, because I understand that maybe she was going to mistaking the locks into her extensions, because I understand maybe they don't know
the difference.
So I sent a message to her saying that I've decided to put back Talent's locks because of the new school of conduct that says no extensions are allowed. Hair was even getting damaged. But should we have any issue, please contact me. I can come at school and show you how it was done and the whole thing. And she forwarded the message, a message about the conduct. And I said, yes, I read it, I understand it, thank you. That was it. 2 weeks ago, she sent me a message. I was away.
Who is she?
The principal.
Okay.
The school principal. She sent me a message saying that, hi Noko, please make sure that Thailand, she always tied up her locks in a knit band, which means she understands. She even sent a flower. That text is there, I will share with you guys. Send a flower that she must make sure that she always tie them up. So Thailand went to school like this.
All the time.
She
I like
done.
that. It wasn't a bunch, just some of them were like sticking up.
They were sticking up, so she did not want that. She wanted to make sure that the
This
band is
knit band.
neat. Yes. So I then contacted her sister and said, please make sure that Thailand tomorrow she goes to school in a knit band, because it's the time that she's complaining. And then the next day she also sent me another message, said, no, the band is not neat. So I asked them to please, they must use the needle and the wool to make sure that they put it according to what she wants. And they did that, and then it was just that. Then on Friday, the last week Friday, they had a concert at school. Yes, last week Friday, they had a concert at school. She was going to perform a solo contemporary dance with other kids. I then received a voice note from her. I've got it as well, I'll show you, saying that, hi, no, Thailand and other kids, the phones at school. It was during break time, but however, it's at school premises, it is not allowed. So I asked, why did they bring the phones? They said because of they needed to practice. And that was wrong, because even if it's a concert, but if the phone is not allowed at school, it's not allowed. I was never going to condone that. I even told Tanya when I was preaching the phone that you must discipline them if they are wrong. So then Saturday morning, that's when she sent me a message saying, I know, please note that Thailand must not return at school on Monday if she has not cut that thing, whatever it called.
Meaning her hair.
That was a message. That was a message. And then I responded and I requested for a meeting. If you can come, I said, oh, I'll come on Monday. Can we meet and talk about this? And she did not respond. Monday, went to school in the morning alone to drop her. She went inside. They do their whole assemble, praying in the morning, and then they went on the field to do their activities, running. I saw Tina going towards the sport ground, and then I followed because I thought maybe they are done with their assembly. But I was gonna go to the office because that's where you wait. And then I don't know where she went after that. I don't know where she went after that. But this one came with the surface saying, Mommy, Tanya is saying me and Z with another child we must go and run again. I'm like, oh, okay, go and run again, because I thought maybe they've been punished for bringing phones. I did not mind. And then I waited in the office. When I was sitting in the office, she came with the bag and said, no, man, after running, teacher said I must not enter the class. I must go home and go cut the hair. So it's also disturbing me that why would she want to punish the child by running, where else she also does not want the child to come to school. But she went there and said she must go and run first, and then she was and send her home. And I waited. I said, go back to the class. And then she was chased again by another teacher, Chita Engel. She was the second one. And then that teacher as well was teacher Roxanne.
So all of them were told, don't let her in the
don't
class.
Let her in, and I was keep on taking her and talking to them on the side. Guys, what is happening? I'm waiting for Tanya. They said, Tanya, she's sick. She's saying she's not going to see. I said, but I saw Tanya this morning. She's by her house. She's there at school. And
she lives by the school. The house is there.
Yes, and then she refused. And then at that time, she then sent me a text saying, Noko, I'm not going to see you. Please take your child and leave. And I said, I'm not going to take my child. My child will not miss a class. She needs to be at school. She said, I'm not available. I said, okay, then we must keep my child at school up until you are available. She said, no, we must take her. She must go and remove the hair extension. Now she was not even saying that. She was saying, keep on saying hair extension. If it's now I'm lost. She keep on saying that she must go and remove the hair extension before she comes to school. And I said, okay, I've got the whole day, which means I must wait. I'm going to wait here and wait and watch and wait for my child to be not chased out of the class. I then decided to call my friend who stays in this estate. And she came with the husband. The husband is also a lawyer, is the one you see on the videos. The first thing that they did, they went to the office and they asked them for the conduct because they wanted to read and understand it. So I read it, but I also did not understand why. Because it says nothing about the natural hair. Even beside the issue of the extension, but even about the natural hair, it said nothing about it. And then he then requested they must call Tina. We waited in the office, and Tina came immediately after they came because he saw them coming inside the gate. He then came. That was around 9, and I've been at school around 7. I came at school around 7. So this thing happened.
So she kept you waiting for 2 hours or so?
Yes. Then he came. She came and he waited. He stood outside. And Tina went to the office to print some things. He then said, how we greeted them. So obviously they didn't even want to join us at the office.
Yeah.
And then he said, how do you think this thing is going to fall out? Are you expecting that your child is still going to come back to school after this? How do you think this thing is going to fall out? And then that's when we started videoizing. Like, what do you mean if you say this? Yeah, he said, I want to know how do you think this thing is going to play out? He said, and then they were lies there saying that you're owing. They started coming up with things. I was shocked. I was shocked. And then he then said, I'm going to go and grab the child out of the class. That's when we were not even in class. We followed him because there are so many other videos. So we followed him to the class and he ordered the teachers to move all the kids out of the class because Thailand, she is leaving.
My goodness.
So he obviously wanted to perform the job by him moving all other kids, saying that they must move out of the class.
It was premeditated.
Yes.
He knew what he was going to do. It's not like a spur of the moment thing.
He knew what he was going to do. And he started telling me, he's the one who told my child, who I don't even have a contract with, according to me, that Thailand, you're no longer part of the school. That was on the video. You must take your things and leave. You are no longer part of the school. You cannot work in the school. And he said, Thailand, leave. I said, Thailand, you can stand here. You must not leave. Because he was standing at the back of the door.
Yes.
And then that's when I went in between.
Yeah. That's when he was pushing her.
Yeah, I said, please do not touch. No, I said, please do not touch my child. Please do not touch my child. The next thing, he grabbed me like this. And then he threw me on the floor.
Yeah?
When Nosiko was busy on the video.
My goodness.
He first threw me off the floor. When I was on the floor, that's when my daughter started shouting that you have no right, you have no right. I was on the beside. I don't even have a balance because I've got a new operation on my leg. So when I was just after that, I stood up from the floor, and that was when he was now grabbing her and throwing her out of the class.
Did you open a case against it? Good.
Yes, I got a bail of 2,000. Actually, there's 2 assaults.
2 assaults,
Is there a school governing board in that school? Or is just school operates without even a governing board?
Yeah. That talks to also our oversight from province level. How do we even have a school that is not licensed with a code of conduct that is so discriminatory? For me, the fact that you can't even do ballet if you've got hair like this, I don't understand it.
No, that's when she was doing it part-time in Parkhurst. That's when it was by me. It was by choice.
No, but generally still that black kids have to conform to a certain image to be accepted to play sports. For me, it's just unacceptable, even if it's on the other side. You know, it cannot be. It means if I've got my natural afro, then I can't participate.
You can participate, but when you're going for exam, you have to do a night. Gel it down on a nice neat bun. So which now you can't gel this one down, the locks down.
That's what I'm saying. Therefore you can't do ballet because you can't gel your hair down. Why must you be gelling your hair down? I mean in this age, Mama, it should not be.
It should not be.
You know, this is not we can't conform to a European look for us to be accepted to do things. You know, we're in Africa and you should be able to have your African look. It means those rules of ballet must change. Why must we be putting gels on our hair so that we can do ballet? It has nothing to do with my talent and my gift. You see. So
but the ballet is different. So
it's different school.
It's a different thing that we were doing on the side. It's a different school. It's a different thing, and your child can have the dreadlocks and any other style to do the ballet. But when maybe you go for exams, obviously they have to, even if you have a dread, you have to make sure that it's in a neat band.
Exams from the school where there is
the ballet, so the
national
exams,
okay, all right. Something else.
To get colours.
To get colours.
Anyway, I disagree with it, but I can see you're defending it. So I
don't want people to think that now that's what it was by our choice.
No, I know it's your choice. I'm talking about it generally. If indeed our kids have to conform to a certain image,
there are other kids that are playing ballet with the natural or dreadlocks. They know that when they're doing the exam, So the knit band that she had on the same first day that she was pushed out of the class. Yeah, so that's how it needs to be done for the exam. But they do
For ballet, not for that school, Christian, what?
School,
It's
Okay.
I think anyway,
Alright.
we had to deal with the school. Your mama
Yeah, we had to
is
deal with the
defending
school.
certain rules. And we'll deal with them outside of here. But for us, we just feel, as the city of Johannesburg, we don't want a city that makes you feel you have to be something that you're not in order to belong. There should not be a school that you can't go to because you've got a natural hair, or or you are a transgender or LGBTQIA, because it goes further into that as well. Once you discriminate on race, you are sexist. You will discriminate on every other expression that people want to have. We're in a different world. People can be whatever they want to be now, and we have to be able to accept that constitutionally. We must be able to accept that. So I'm just glad that, number one, that school was not registered, it is closed. The case is opened. We'll follow through with the case as well, that it is done. But my concern is, where are you going to school now? What are you going to do for the rest of the year?
My mom is planning for me to join an online school.
Okay.
An online school for the last 3 months. And next year, she's going to apply for seat reservations.
Okay. And you've looked at their rules and their code of conduct.
Yes.
Is it something that you fit into? Do they also have the same restrictions of extensions, etc.? So are all the schools like that? Do they have these restrictions?
No, we don't know.
Some of them.
Some
Depends.
some that are small like this, and that people sometimes they don't voice out and say. And apparently she was not the first one who was chased out of the school
for the same thing.
For the hair.
Yeah.
And which means a month ago another mother has reached out that I did not even notice that the child was not at school. Tina also chased her daughter out because of she came with her extension. So the mother decided that I'm not going to put my child braids. She put a braid on, and then Tina chased him. But they tried to fight it, but however, she then uses the fact that they were only 1 month. So the kids now are currently at home. There were 3 kids that were in the school.
Really?
So now we're using.
There's another parent as well who came out saying in the school. She said, I've shared them with the Department of Education, the contacts. And with other journalists.
Now we're calling on the Department of Education to actually look into these rules and the code of conduct, because this is a way to exclude black children from getting education. How do you tell 3 children must now be at home because you don't like their hair, and you chase them out of a school? It's just not. It's criminal, I think. There has to be justice around this matter. So we're going to follow up with the department. It's a provincial competency, the schools, and looking into their policies. But I'm sure now more than ever there's a serious scrutiny on all of these mushrooming schools that are not aligned to the constitution of the land, and also not aligned to really the freedoms that have been fought for so hard in the land. It cannot be that our children are going through this. But as part of our Office of the Speaker, we're embarking on a civic education program, and this is key to it, because one of the key things that we want to teach people out there is right behavior, right conduct, right? We all must have that. There are certain things that we condemn. You cannot just insult somebody or be disrespectful, etc. That one we condemn. But we have to tolerate one another in terms of your expression, your personal expression, whether it's your religious expression, your ethnic expression, your tribal expression, whatever it is that, within your rights that you have, you want to look like, you want to be like, that must be protected at all costs. And we want to continue to teach people around this moral behavior. I feel it's immoral for kids to be at home because they've got dreadlocks, because the teacher doesn't like their hair. They must go and stay at home for 3 months. It's really not. It's not the behavior that we want to build on. But the program is trying to build world-class African citizens. And if we're going to have a world-class African city, that anyone from anywhere in the world must come and live with us, bring their children to come to school, invest in our country. It means we must be open-minded and be able to accommodate, people and who they are and where they come from and how they want to live. But of course, there's public decency that we must insist on. There are things that you can't do. We don't expect them to condone behavior. If you come to school, you're smoking drugs, you're drinking, you're disrespecting the teachers, that's something. We'll not be able to defend that. If you're supposed to do your work and you're not doing it, and you're just causing trouble at school, that we can't. It's behavioral issue. But if you're just discriminated, you're doing well, it's because of how you choose to express. That is immoral, it's non-acceptable, it is racist, and it cannot be condoned. And at the City of Johannesburg, we will be looking into this very closely. We'll follow up with the province as well to make sure that there's justice and that you get into a proper school. If you choose to be online, that's okay. But if indeed you want to go to a physical school, online is great. You can, be at home and do what you need to do.
She really wants to go to a school, but she's also good at sports as well. The online issue is because of the curriculum that the child is doing in the school. So it's a different curriculum, and now we're only left with 4 months.
Yeah.
So the reason that I choose for this 4 months only online, but next year she's gonna be going to
because online is limited, the social part, the interaction, the sports, and also you've got load shedding. You don't underestimate it. You may be sitting here trying to connect to class, the next thing there's no power. It's not the ideal.
There are requirements. They are saying that you must have a backup.
You must have a backup power, and we know the costs of some of those things. So you see now, it's putting you at a disadvantage. It's taking your money more as well, and which is something that none of us can, confidently say we can afford the standard of living now. Things are very expensive. So you should not be going out of your pocket for that. And I don't know if you have anything to add as well from what you've seen. I know you agree with me with the school for ballet, but Sis seems to be defending them. Anything you want to add?
No. What is disappointing mostly is that to find out that the school is illegally registered.
Yes.
And you've invested. She's been going to the school for the past 5 years.
Wow.
5 years?
Yes.
Hey!
She's not a new student. So, So a whole lot of things then came out.
But you must also take the good out of it, because it was going to continue like this. You get to matric and nobody recognizes your certificate because it's not registered. Now, instead of having wasted 4 or 5 years that you can recover now, you would find that you must now go and redo a whole lot of things, So in a way, I think it's a good thing that they discovered it here, but it talks to not even yourselves, it talks to the city, it talks to the province. How do we have a school like that operating for over 5 years? We don't even 10 years. We don't even know without a license.
Is the school unlicensed or it's operating out of the licensed
It's
permission?
actually registered, but it's a duplicate.
Oh, it's a copy. Like me, I can have a same school. Girls can do anything.
She uses
and
the
somebody's
registration of the branch.
That's
and
the
then
first time they
it's
started.
Okay.
Sure.
Oh.
So it's not fully complying.
Okay.
So when they opened this branch, they were according to the department, they were supposed to register it and to follow all the other necessary things. Yes.
Okay.
Telling a lot of girls, we're getting many comments that are really proud of you, whether you feel it now or not. But after the shock, if you are in shock, were you traumatized? After that incident, did you feel like you were depressed, you were not happy, were you in shock?
I was not depressed, but I was not happy at the same time.
But I want to encourage you, a lot of girls are looking at you, they think you are very brave, and you stood up for your mother, you stood up for yourself, and I think that we have to commend you for. That talks about your character, your confidence, and the type of woman that we want, in the future, and are you How do you feel about that when people think of you as a hero in a situation that you did not even plan? You were just
Oh
there.
no, she's not on Twitter, so she's not seeing all of
She's
that.
not
Oh, she's not
seeing.
seeing
Oh
all of
my
that.
God!
The
You
phone,
should be.
we've
I
taken
tell
the
you.
phone, so
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
for
Yeah.
them to behave.
Oh my
So
God.
25.
But I want to
Oh,
hear
the
her. How she
25th?
feels. How do you feel
Okay,
first?
yeah.
You feel happy? Yeah. If you were to do it again, would you do it again?
Yes. Wow.
No, I love that. I love that. Before the 25th. Sis, is there anything you want to add?
No.
Because you've seen it unfold, you know? You were part of the journey.
So.
You are the one who posted. She's the one who
I was
posted.
there.
Was
Yes.
a camera? Was a women in behind the camera?
I wasn't even there actually.
Oh,
she was here at
I
home.
was
She was
here.
still sleeping when I left. Then I was saying I left alone.
My
Oh.
goodness.
But the little one, she was there. She's sleeping
Yes,
so
so
on the floor. She
Oh.
sometimes said, "That man, mommy, the way she
Oh.
pushed you." The little one was
But
there.
that's gender-based violence.
Yeah, it is.
It's gender.
It is.
I mean, if a man can do that to a woman, what is he doing to his wife? That is in secret, in a close. I was willing to do that publicly in front of cameras, without shame, without remorse. So that tells us that we're dealing with an animal behavior here, you know. And thank God that you posted. Thank you so much for bringing that out. So they just sent you a video and you posted it.
No, she actually fetched me after the whole incident because we had to wait for the department.
Yes.
Just around the area, so I was with her during the day.
Yes.
After she had fetched me, so I was just like, no, I'm still gonna post. I feel like me posting is to expose
Yeah.
him for his behavior because we could open a case, but we know the justice system fails us
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least he's
And if
known
it
out
did, maybe
there.
if it did not even post
If it did not-
the
nothing
many
could
things
have
that have
happened.
came out about the school would have
No,
never been known.
we wouldn't have known.
Yeah. But again, you will still find those who comment and still see nothing wrong.
Yeah, people know me.
Yeah. No, I think we've heard from you. I'm so grateful that you are fine. We're just worried first and foremost about you. That's why I wanted to come and see you, and of course Mama as well. You know, and I didn't know that you suffered so much harm. You know, being pushed around, etc. It's like we're back in the apartheid days. My goodness. But I'm glad for your strength. I'm grateful that you guys are willing to see through, and you'll find a good school that you'll go to, and you know, you'll be back again and doing your thing, your sports, your ballet, etc. We'll be checking up on you, and if there's anything that the family needs from the city or support, let us know. We're gonna leave our details today, but we'll be talking anyway. I think this is a good launch of our civic education because we are exposing. In fact, from now on, that hashtag of building world-class African citizens, if there's any incident of people who spit, who pee, who litter, who abuse others, who are not behaving like world-class African citizens,
Thank you.
henceforth we want it to be posted. Talk to us, put it there, we'll follow up on it. And on that note, I want to thank you. We're just gonna wrap up and say girls can do anything. Last one, girls can do anything. Yay. Thank you, Cllr. Yeah.
Sorry guys.